Breaking news in the Oscar Pistorius trial. The judge is ruling on his murder trial right now, clearing the former Olympian of the two most serious charges against him. But the judge has not read her verdict yet. ABC's Matt Gutman has been inside the courtroom in South Africa. And Matt.
That's right, Robin. The judge has ruled out premeditated murder and murder, but culpable homicide, which is like manslaughter, very much on the table. The judge has shot holes through Pistorius' claim of self-defense. The only thing clear right now is that this entire nation is laser focused on this very moment, and perhaps this headline says it all. Judgment Day for Oscar. The crush intense as he arrived, Pistorius looking tense.
Oscar, are you feeling confident today? How do you feel?
Towering family members forming a flying wedge to push him through the crowd. For 6 months, the spotlight had been on Pistorius, but this morning it blazed on the 66-year-old judge, Thokozile Masipa. Masipa seeming to rule out premeditated murder as well as murder, leaving only culpable homicide as a possibility.
There are just not enough facts to support such a finding.
Knocking down the prosecution's so-called ear witnesses who say they heard a woman scream that night.
The evidence of witnesses must be rejected merely because the witnesses failed to describe the events in exactly the same way.
Saying only one witness's testimony matters.
The accused is the only one who can tell this court how the incident happened.
Back in the same bench in court, Pistorius appeared to sob as the judge recounted the bloody scene in his bathroom on Valentine's Day last year. Pistorius had claimed he'd never intended to pull the trigger. The judge didn't buy it.
The accused clearly wanted to use the firearm, and the only way he could have used it was to shoot at the perceived danger.
Meaning he meant to shoot. Reva Steenkamp's parents looking stone-faced. Now, Pistorius also faces 3 other gun-related charges, but if he is convicted of that manslaughter charge, he could face 15 years in jail. Of course, the judge does have the discretion to give him no prison time. We're also told that if he is convicted of virtually anything, Pistorius will appeal. George.
Okay, Matt, thanks. Let's talk to Dan Abrams about this right now. So the judge has reached at least one conclusion. Oscar Pistorius was a bad witness, but not a murderer.
Right, a huge win for Oscar Pistorius. I mean, when you look at the facts in this case, that he shot her in his own home behind a locked door, this is a big win for Oscar Pistorius. It also does seem from the judge's language that it's almost certain that she's going to convict him of the lesser crime of culpable homicide. So in theory, there could still be a stiff sentence here.
Let's explain culpable homicide. That's the equivalent of what would be manslaughter here in the U.S.
That's right. A sort of negligent killing in this case. Incredibly negligent, almost reckless killing in this particular case. But as Matt points out, no minimum sentence there. So the judge is going to have a lot of discretion here on sentencing, and that's what it's all going to come down to. Once the murder's off the table, the question becomes what's the sentence? And the evidence against him in the ammunition charge and the weapons charge, very, very strong, and you're talking about the possibility of up to 25 years just on those charges combined. So there's still a lot to come, but no matter how you look at it, no matter what the sentence is here, the fact that murder's off the table and the possibility of a mandatory life sentence, that's a big win for Oscar Pistorius.
And the judge will continue reading this morning. Okay, Dan, thanks very much.